A little bit about myself. I am Nishith Pathak. I am the research lead and vice president in Accenture Labs, and I have written quite a number of books on various technologies. I've been from Microsoft. I have been Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. Couple of years. The last book that I have written was on artificial intelligence for .NET that got published by Springer, and it's actually live a couple of months back in August. So of course, I'm an eminent speaker and keep on speaking on various conferences. So that's why probably you will see me here. Anurag is not in, and today is his day, and we just want to make sure that his name is recognized over there. Anurag is working with me, and he hails from NIT Jalandhar. He is the associate principal in technology labs in India, and of course, his primary technologies that he works out is natural language processing, IoT, and of course, machine learning. And that's where what Anurag is. And we have Shivam with me as well. Why don't Shivam you introduce yourself?
Hello. Yeah, so I'm Shivam. I'm from Accenture Labs, and I have been working on different technologies. And currently, I'm working on IoTs and virtual interfaces. So,
great. So if you look out technology lab as such, we work on a lot of new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, IoT, and that's my primary area is that how we can use these technologies to apply it to certain domain. And one of the problems that I have taken out is how can I use these technologies to solve some complex problems, right? Some social challenges, right? So some of the areas that we have worked out is we have created an application called Drishti, wherein we are using the artificial intelligence and image classification to help visual impaired people, resolve the challenge and see the world. And this is something which we have co-innovated with National Association of Blind in Mumbai. This is one of the very prominent tool within Accenture, and of course you can search on Google as Accenture Drishti, and of course you can find a lot of stuff in YouTube as well as in Media Hub as well. So this is one of the area that this is one of the application that I have created and designed and architected. Another one is of course everyone is aware about Akshay Patra. Akshay Patra is one of the big giants providing midday meals, and what we have done is we have used the IoT and blockchain to help them reduce the efficiency and of course optimize the midday cost. And what we have achieved so far is that we are able to provide 1 million more meals with the same cost using the latest technologies like blockchain and IoTs. So this is something that we do and we are applying. And of course, whenever we go and work with any of the technologies, we always co-innovate. It's not like we sit in the labs and we do it. It's always very, very important to understand the users. Panelists have emphasized about it. The last session was also emphasizing about it. I think it is very, very important for us to co-innovate, understand the users, and then develop the applications as such. So why I'm here as such? I'm not going to talk about Drishti as well as Akshay Patra application. So let me make it more interactive. So as I said that we are using these technologies to resolve some complex problems. So of course one of the problems that we are trying to resolve is about data collections. How many of you feel that there is a need of a data collections and we do it up in our day-to-day life as well? Why do we need data collections? Can you give some examples? Feedback.
Further improvisation.
Improvisation. Educated desk. What else?
Information.
Records.
Yeah. Data is information.
Right. I take a little bit more deeper, right?
Can build prototype for future.
Prototype for future, of course. Couple of areas, right? Let's dig it more. We actually do our database recordings and capture this all data collection even in the rural areas, for getting sensor data, for example, right? For identifying the potential beneficiaries so that we can utilize it and apply some government schemes, of course. And of course, there are certain sort of challenges with some of these data collections as such. And what are those challenges, right? So if you really dig down a little bit more, you will see that traditionally the database collection has been done with the pen and paper based service, right? Lot of problems with the pen and paper based service, right? Can you guys point out some of the problems with the pen and paper based service?
Get destroyed.
Lot of errors.
It will get destroyed.
Transaction is difficult. Transparency issues. What else? Storage. Analysis is tough. So if you really see it out, you know that there are a lot of problems with the paper-based issues, right? And of course, this is something that have been done with decades and decades. And we are trying to resolve it out. And some of the companies since last 1 decade or 2 decades have tried to make it more digitized. And what they have done is that they have came up with mobile-based service. Now with the mobile-based service, transaction of record and automation of things and all of these stuffs have tried to be solved at some point of problems. Of course, that's great. But there are certain problems that still over there. For example, right? We were in the panel, we were talking about, India is a very diversified country. We have several languages. You can't expect anybody to write in Hindi or write in English. It's very hard. So there is a need for having a text-free application as such to handle these all things, right? And how could we do that? And certainly these mobile-based surveys are also not transparent. Certainly some of the NGOs can also sit it out in their cabins and record the data by filling the dummy names, and you are really not being able to do the right prediction. And always what we end up in doing is that we are actually blaming the machine learning model or the predictive model that comes out and say that it is inaccurate. But the reality is that the actual situation is that we are not able to capture it up into real go. So how do we resolve these problems? That's where we really came up with the solution called Survey Babu. And the Survey Babu is one of the applications that we have developed. It's a multilingual virtual agent. It uses the state-of-the-art speech technologies. It uses the artificial intelligence. It works on multiple languages, English and Hindi. And of course, the research is going on to make it more prominent on other languages as well. And before I really move out, I want Shivam to start giving a demo about you, that how does it work. It's a live demo and not the video recording as such. I want to make sure that you really see how does it work. The idea and the correlation is that he is able to intercept. It's a text-free application, so you don't really need any trained person to be facilitating the service. You can actually put it on any of the mobile application and handle it. And of course, it works either on the internet and without internet scenarios as well. So over to you, Shivam, and why don't you go ahead and demo it now?
Thank you, Nishith. So can we please have the demo? Okay, so I'm going to show you a demo about our application, which is just a prototype right now. Research is still going on to make it more relevant, and I'll warn you that this is just a screen-based rendering, so it might be a bit slow, but I can show you on the mobile also. So just follow with the voice. Okay, so I'm going to start it.
अपना नाम बताएं।
मेरा नाम शिवम है।
धन्यवाद शिवम। चलिए शुरू करें। प्रश्न 1, आपके परिवार की मासिक आय और इसका स्रोत क्या है? विकल्प 1, 10,000 से कम। विकल्प 2, 10,000 से अधिक। विकल्प 3, 1 लाख से कम। विकल्प 4, 1 लाख से अधिक।
1 लाख से अधिक।
आपने चुना है 1 लाख से अधिक। धन्यवाद। अगला प्रश्न। प्रश्न 2, आपके माता पिता कितने शिक्षित हैं? विकल्प 1, निरक्षर या अशिक्षित। विकल्प 2, 50% साक्षर। विकल्प 3, केवल महिला सदस्य साक्षर हैं। विकल्प 4, सभी साक्षर हैं। माफ करें, मुझे आपका उत्तर समझ नहीं आया। कृपया प्रश्न को दोबारा सुनें। प्रश्न 2, आपके माता पिता कितने शिक्षित हैं? विकल्प 1, निरक्षर या अशिक्षित। विकल्प 2, 50% साक्षर। विकल्प 3, केवल महिला सदस्य साक्षर हैं। विकल्प 4 सभी साक्षर हैं।
सभी साक्षर हैं।
आपने चुना है सभी साक्षर हैं। धन्यवाद। अगला प्रश्न। प्रश्न 3 आपकी शिक्षा का स्तर क्या है? विकल्प 1 कभी स्कूल नहीं गए। विकल्प 2 छोड़ दिया। विकल्प 3 नामांकित लेकिन अनियमित। विकल्प 4 एक बहुत दूर स्कूल में दाखिला लिया।
छोड़ दिया।
आपने चुना है छोड़ दिया। धन्यवाद। अगला प्रश्न। प्रश्न 4 आपके परिवार का माहौल क्या? धन्यवाद शिवम। आपकी प्रतिक्रिया दर्ज करनी है।
So as you all can see that it is recording our every response. It is giving back you the feedback, and also the interface is quite interactive. You can basically interact. You're interacting with it. Does what we can do? We can capture the emotions of a user. This gives us the leverage to get more data. I mean, data in a text form, which we get from pen paper based surveys or digital surveys, are maybe relevant but not highly relevant. But what if you take the user's peripheral interaction and other inputs from the same user? So that data becomes more relevant to analyze and then process. Over to you, Nishith.
Thanks, Shivam, for the nice demo. So if you really look out, we were very peculiar about talking about this survey in Hindi. There are a lot of situations, and I'm not sure if really you get that out. First of all, it's a multilingual virtual agent. It was working in Hindi. Of course, we can make it in English. The reason we want to show you a demo in Hindi, because in rural areas, Hindi is more prominent. As our research progress, we can definitely extend it out to other non-Indian languages like Marathi and Bengali and other things as well. So that's quite thing. Second thing is, when Shivam was the first question that the survey babu asked, आपका नाम क्या है? And then the Shivam says, मेरा नाम शिवम है. Right? It could have said मेरा नाम this is and anything else, but what the survey babu was able to understand that the name of that person is Shivam. So he was able to understand the answer or understand the intent of the response of the user, which is really very, very important. That's where in computer science we are going to call as NLU, natural language understanding. So in which we are able to understand the actual intent before the answers are responded. And even for the rest of the questions as well, all the questions that the survey babu was asking and Shivam was answering, the answers can be responded back with any of the NLUs as system as such. So this is really one of the great research that Accenture has done in the area of NLU, where we are able to identify the right intent and able to move forward. Second thing is, of course, the gesture-based recognition as well. If you really look out Survey Babu, the demo, there were quite a number of gestures that, Survey Babu was returning, right? When he was kept quiet, when Shivam was saying, he was just listening. When he was making, he can always be sad, idle. It can be different based emotions that can be taken forward and, forward and, taken it. So this is where the whole multilingual virtual agent came in. Now, if you really look out the whole scenario, quite a number of technologies that we have used, and because I love talking about technologies, I can talk for hours and hours about it. So there are a lot of things that we have used. We have used machine learning, we have used deep learning, we have used image classifications, we have used state-of-the-art speech recognitions, we have used natural language understanding, we have used multimodal perception. I'm going to talk about an architecture about it a slide later. All these can be combined, and where they can be really used. The areas are enormous. You can really use some of these technologies and outcome of these resources and resolve some of the bigger social problems that in India it is prevalent. For example, child trafficking. I can use this technologies like Survey Babu to intercept and probably do the child trafficking, probably by deploying a machine learning model along with it that identify the vulnerability at that go itself. In fact, we have worked with one of the NGOs in Bengal. We have worked with it and we have deployed a solution called G-Power, which is exactly using this solution, that is resolving out the child trafficking issues using the same solution. Same way, malnutrition, child abuse. There are lot of these are very sensible and very sensational, social issues that can be resolved by using some of these technologies and outcome. Of course, the idea is to take these technologies and use the state of the art of these technologies and deploy it and provide and use out in some social problems that we are entailing in. Now, I think most of you have seen this all, and hopefully, you have liked it as well. And I think some of the areas that you might be really interested on is what is the motivation